morning, viewers. Welcome to MouShauk. Today, we'll be discussing the second part of the question answers of this digestive system chapter, class science syllabus. So, before I start, I will request you to please to subscribe my channel if you have not subscribed it, or if you are a new viewer to my channel. And if you are liking the video, press the like button, share with your friends so that they can also be benefited from this video. And do meditate before you start your day. So we will also start with a short meditation for just 1 minute. And so for that, let us concentrate on the point of light. Bringing the light according to you. If you're feeling very happy and enthusiastic, with the interest of your work, the productivity is increasing, you're doing good marks, you're giving appreciation, and becoming successful at the end of the day. So you're thanking God and proceeding with the session. So thank you for joining this meditation. And let us start with the discussion. So today's question we are starting with is how many pairs of salivary glands are there in a human body? What are they and why are they located? 3 pairs of salivary glands, we know that is parotid glands, submandibular and sublingual. So parotid glands are located just below, just in front and beneath the ear. Okay, just beneath the ear and in front of the, in front and beneath the ear is here, it's the parotid gland. Okay, here. Then submandibular, located close to the inner side of the lower jaw of each side, and sublingual is located below the tongue. Okay? So what causes watering of the mouth? The slight smell or just a thought of tasty food can cause an increased flow of saliva, which results in the watering of the mouth. Okay? When the salivary flow into the mouth is considerably increased, when it is happens, when does it happen? The salivary flow in our mouth is considerably increased when we eat. When we eat, okay, then our saliva inside our mouth that increase considerably. Okay, how much saliva you normally produce every day? About 1,000 to 1,500 milliliter, enough to fill about 5 to 7 empty bottles of any sauce. So much of the saliva is produced every day. Okay. So what is saliva? We have talked about saliva. Now, what is saliva? It is a very slightly acidic fluid which contains about 99% of water. Maximum of it is water. Some salts are there, mucus, and an enzyme, salivary amylase is there. So what is the pH of saliva? It is 6.8. Okay. Now, I told you it's slightly acidic, so its pH is 6.8. Okay. 7 is normal. So, as we go towards 1, it is acidic. As we go towards 10, it will be alkaline. So, slightly acidic, that's why it's 6.8. Okay. What is the other name of salivary amylase? It's ptyalin. Okay. What is the function of the saliva? It moistens and lubricates the inner lining of the oral cavity and the surface of the tongue so that one can swallow and speak. So it moistens the inner lining of the oral cavity is the mouth. Okay, so inside our mouth, the inner lining of the mouth is moistened and lubricated by saliva. And the surface of the tongue is also lubricated so that we can swallow the food and we can speak. It moistens and lubricates the food also. Okay. So it lubricates the tongue, the oral cavity, even the food is lubricated, moistened and lubricated, which helps the person to swallow. Then it acts, this saliva acts as a solvent which dissolves some food, particularly some food particles, so that the taste buds of the tongue are stimulated. Okay. Then it helps food particles to stick together. Okay. It helps the food particles to stick together to form the bolus. So it forms the ball-like substance. The food, when it is mixed with saliva, it forms the ball-like substance, which is known as bolus. so that it can be swallowed as a mass. Total mass can be swallowed down. Now it digests starch. Okay, the enzyme which comes out, it is of the starch digestion is done by the ptyalin, which converts starch to maltose. So the ptyalin, which is present in the mouth, digests the starch which is present in the mouth, which we eat, that is digested by ptyalin or salivary amylase, which converts starch to maltose. Okay, so the reaction comes in this way: starch by the action of ptyalin, salivary amylase, and the saliva, which is changes into maltose. Okay, then it cleans the mouth and tends to destroy the germs to prevent the tooth decay. So when we eat, our food is filled with some, I mean, food particles are there, then some germs are there, so it can clean the mouth. The saliva, it cleans the mouth and it tends to destroy the germs which are present in the mouth so that it can prevent the tooth decay. Then it aids in maintaining the water balance in the body by giving a feeling of thirst indicated by the dryness in the mouth to replenish body water. So it helps to indicate that we need water, we are feeling thirsty. Okay. So how does it help in this way? That in its way, it helps that when our mouth becomes dry, okay, if the saliva is not secreted in our mouth, the mouth becomes dry, and we need to take water. Okay, so that dryness of mouth indicates that we need water. So this is dryness is caused by the maintenance of the water balance, which is done by the saliva. Okay. Now, what is the role of tongue in swallowing? Now, while swallowing, the tongue presses upward. Okay, the tongue, the upper palate, that is the upper palate, the tongue presses upward towards the upper palate and back against the palate. Okay, the upper palate is, the roof of the mouth is known as palate. Okay? It's not upper palate, but it's palate. Okay? The roof of the mouth, against the roof of the mouth, the tongue presses, okay, upward and backward, okay, which forces the bolus into the throat or the pharynx. So which allows or which forces the bolus to move into the throat or the pharynx. Okay, throat is also known as pharynx. Okay, into which the food passes, the bolus passes. What is the role of the soft palate in swallowing? The upper portion of the mouth, the roof of the mouth is palate, hard palate, and back portion is the soft palate. So what is the role of the soft palate in swallowing? When does the action take place? The soft palate, which is the back part of the roof of the mouth cavity, closes the opening between the throat and the nasal passage. Okay. What happens when the food is, when we are swallowing the bolus, the tongue presses the palate upward and backward. Okay. Now the bolus moves towards the throat and the throat or the pharynx. Okay. Now the back part of the roof, that is the soft palate, that closes the opening between the throat and the nasal passage, between the pharynx and the larynx. Between the pharynx and the nasal passage. Okay. This action takes place simultaneously with the tongue. This action is quite simultaneous with the tongue is pressing the bolus into the pharynx. Very one after the other, it simultaneously it takes place. It does not take time for that. Okay. So the next simultaneous action in swallowing is the larynx located at the entrance of the windpipe is pulled upward close to the back of the tongue when the opening is closed by the epiglottis, so that the swallowed food gets the only one opening, and that is the esophagus, the gullet. Okay. So what happens? First, when we are swallowing the food, the hard palate, the tongue presses on the hard palate backward and upward and backward. Okay? Now the bolus moves towards the throat. Okay? Now the roof of the cavity, the roof of the mouth cavity, the soft palate will close the opening between the throat and the nasal passage. But that is why if the food will not go to the nose, nasal passage is also locked. Okay. Now after that, what happens? The larynx, that is at the entrance of the windpipe, that also is closed by the epiglottis. So one opening is left, that is the esophageal opening. The food will now pass into the esophagus. Okay, all this takes place simultaneously. Okay, and so it will move into the esophagus now. The food. What is meant by the food going the wrong way? What happens? If it goes into the wrong way, that means it is not going into the esophagus, it is going into the windpipe. That's the time what has happened. By any chance this happens, this is the wrong way going. Okay. And an immediate cupping will form. Cupping will occur, which will forcibly throw out the food from the windpipe outside the body. From the wrong entered substance. Wrongly entered substance will be thrown out. Okay. Now, we have talked about esophagus, we talked about windpipe, all those, but what is esophagus and where is it located? Esophagus is a tube which simply conducts the food from the mouth to the stomach. Okay, from the throat to the stomach. So it is located at the center of our chest, lying behind our trachea, that is our windpipe, just behind the trachea, and in front of our backbone, passing through the diaphragm, passing it through the diaphragm into the stomach. Now, what is peristalsis? Where does it occur? Peristalsis is a movement of the muscular movement, you can say, of the gut, whole gut. Okay, whole gut, or you can say whole elementary canal, or a whole food pipe. Okay, so it's a wave of constriction caused by the circular muscles of the gut, pushing the food along to the whole region of the gut. Okay. Now, what is mucus? It is a slimy fluid secreted by the all regions of the gut, which lubricates the food. So it is a slimy fluid which is secreted by the all regions of the gut, which lubricates the food. Okay. Now, what is stomach? Stomach is I told you that we are talking about the esophagus, which is linked to the stomach. Now, what is stomach? It is an elastic bag located below the diaphragm. Below the diaphragm, it's an elastic bag where it is located. So, how much food it can hold? In an average adult, it can hold about 2 to 3 liters of food. Now, how does the stomach prepare the food for the next step? What is its opening in the small intestine for? So next step is it's going to the stomach now. Okay. Now here the food will be mixed with the stomach juice. What is that juice? Gastric juice. Okay, stomach, the juice which is extracted from the inner lining of the stomach, that is the gastric juice. Okay. The food will mix with that gastric juice which will be secreted from the inner lining of the stomach, and it will then pass on to the small intestine. So the next step will be after passing through the esophagus, it will move to the stomach. Okay, where it will be the highly muscular walls of the stomach will churn the food thoroughly and mix it with the gastric juice. And the opening of the stomach into the small intestine is known as pylorus. Okay. Now, what is meant by pylorus? And what does it have to control the movement of the food from the stomach to the intestine and its backflow? So what is meant by pylorus? Pylorus means gatekeeper. It's a Greek word in which pylorus. So pylon means gate. Okay? So pylorus means gatekeeper. It's a Greek word, and pylon means gate. Okay? and it has a ring of muscles, which is known as sphincter, you can say, to control the movement of the food from the stomach and its back. From the stomach to the intestine and its back. Or you can say regurgitation. Backflow is also known as regurgitation. So what are the ring muscles called? Name the same set of muscles that is present at the front end of the stomach. What is its function? So the rings of muscles are known as sphincter. Okay, they're called sphincter, and the same set of muscles, the same sphincter type of muscles that is sphincter is also present at the front end of the stomach, and that is known as cardiac sphincter. Okay, and the function of the cardiac sphincter is preventing the regurgitation of the food from the stomach into the esophagus. Okay, and when and another thing is that the food which is present in the stomach after mixing with the gastric juice, it is known as chyme. Okay, when the chyme passes into the small intestine, it will pass little by little. Okay? What happens when the stomach is overloaded or disturbed? How does the process happen? When the stomach is overloaded or disturbed, then vomiting occurs. And in this process, the cardiac sphincter opens and the reverse wave of muscular contraction is called. That is called antiperistalsis. Peristalsis is moving downward. Okay. Wave constriction, which is moving downward. Food moving downward to the next part of the gut. Okay. But reverse wave means antiperistalsis. Okay. So antiperistalsis will occur, the cardiac sphincter will open, and the food will come out from the stomach to outside, okay, from the mouth. Now, what is the reverse wave of muscular contraction called? It's called antiperistalsis. What is gastric juice, and from where it is secreted? What does it contain? Gastric juice is a colorless, highly acidic liquid because it contains acid, hydrochloric acid. It is secreted by the inner lining of the stomach. And what does it contain? It contains water, some salt, hydrochloric acid, and pepsin in the form of pepsinogen, which is activated by after secretion of hydrochloric acid. It is activated, pepsinogen is activated into pepsin by hydrochloric acid. What is the function of hydrochloric acid in the stomach? Maybe two functions are there. It kills any germs which may have entered along with the food. It activates pepsin to act on proteins, to digest about 20% of proteins into peptides. Okay, so hydrochloric acid kills the germs which may have entered into the food along with the food. And another is it activates pepsin, that is from pepsinogen to pepsin, to act on the proteins, to digest about only 20% of the protein, and that will convert into peptides. Now, how long the food can stay in the stomach? What is the name given to the food before it passes from the stomach to the small intestine? The name is chyme, I told you, and the food can stay there for about 3 hours. Okay. Now, what is the length and the width of the small intestine? In what form does it stay in the abdomen? And what are its subregions? What is the length and the width of the small intestine? It is about 7 meters long and 2.5 centimeters wide. Okay, and it remains in the abdomen in the coiled and folded form, and its subregions are duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Okay, ileum is the longest one, which remains coiled inside our intestine, in our abdomen. Okay. So what is duodenum, or what does the word mean? Duodenum is the short upper part of the small intestine. Okay. Short upper part of the small intestine is the duodenum, which is next to stomach, into which the common bile duct opens. That is, common bile duct contains the bile duct from the liver and the pancreatic duct. Okay. So commonly, they join together to form the common bile duct. The word duodenum means 12. Okay? That means 12 finger width in the length, and duo means 2, deni means 10. So in addition of the 2, we will get 12. the 12 finger widths of in the length. Duodenum width is 12 finger width. So that's why it's named as duodenum. Now, what is jejunum and what does the word mean? Why is it so called? It's the second shorter region of the small intestine after duodenum and before ileum. It measures about 2 meters in that length. Okay? And jejunum word means empty. It is so called because it is nearly always empty after the death, after any death as found in this dissections or in postmortem. So after a person dies, if we dissect or if we a postmortem is done, we see that jejunum is empty. Okay, so that's why we call this portion of the shorter region, this portion of the small intestine as jejunum. Okay? Now, what is ileum and what does the word mean? Ileum is the last part of the small intestine after jejunum, which means measures about 4 meters. Okay, and ileum word means twist or roll, which refers to the twisting movement of its part, because this part remains coiled, highly twisted portion of the small of the alimentary canal. Okay, so that's why it's known as ileum. So this much for today. Till then, please go through this video as well as the previous videos of this chapter. The links are given in the descriptive box. Please do refer to the next videos because that will help you to understand the question answer much better. Okay, and still if you have any questions, please do write in the comment box, and you can also refer to my email ID, that is kasturi74@gmail.com, KASTURI kasturi74@gmail.com. Okay. And if you are liking the video, press the like button, share with your friends so that they can also be benefited from these videos. And if you have not subscribed yet, or you are a new viewer to my channel, please do subscribe because that will notify you as soon as a new video is uploaded. And do not forget to meditate before you start your day because that will help you in your studies a lot. Okay. So please do meditate and start your day with positive vibrations. Okay. And that will help you in gaining good marks and become successful in your life. So thank you and goodbye, and do stay tuned.